Greetings. Today I'm going to discuss one of the worst written stories of Star Wars Legends: the rise and defeat of the Dark Lord of the Sith, Naga Sadow. The time is around 5000 BBY. The Empress Theta almost unifies the Koto system, while guerrilla rebels rise up against her rule, and Jedi Knight Odan Ur arrives at Sinagar to help her against the uprising. I think this is the first time that we see battle meditation depicted in comics. This meditation borrows power from the emotions combatants already have, boosting positive and exploiting the negative emotions. I could say that emotion is one of the most powerful ways to connect to the Force. Let's just remember how Sith mainly gain power through anger, but it's certainly not the only one, not the most powerful. Also, it is worth remembering that in these times the Jedi are much more battle focused, even if you compare them to those of the times of the Clone Wars. They still used wire lightsabers and wore heavy battle armor. Also, this was the time when the galaxy was largely unexplored and unconnected, so new hyperspace routes were discovered frequently. Also, at this time, the Sith Empire was a fable within the Republic, and neither side had knowledge of which routes led to each other. The ruling factions of the Sith believed that they were the direct descendants of the Jedi, and they knew about the Great Schism and the Republic. Just after the death of the Dark Lord Marka Ragnos, Ludo Kresh and Naga Sadow fight each other for the title of Dark Lord of the Sith. Naga Sadow represented the progress of the Sith because of his experiments with the Force and his ambition for conquest, while Kresh represented the conservative, as he was seemingly content with the power Dark Lords already had. After the accidental arrival and later capture of the Dragon siblings, Korriban, Naga Sadow planned to use Gav and Yuri to unify the Sith against one common enemy, the Republic. He used Ludo Kresh's own argument against him by staging a false attack of Republic forces. The leaders of the different Sith factions fought for Naga Sadow's ruse and accepted him as the new Dark Lord. Ludo Kresh naturally opposed Sadow and decided to go his own way. After being named Dark Lord, Naga Sadow led Kresh into a trap by planting evidence incriminating himself for the attacks, making Kresh to attack him hastily. This also served the purpose of making Yori Daragon to escape in a rush, without his brother giving Naga Sadow the routes to the Republic through a tracking device planted on her ship. But I wonder if it would have been better if Naga Sadow helped to escape both siblings after gathering information from them and then planting the tracker on their ship. After that, planting evidence making it seem that either Kresh helped them or that it was an attack from the Republic, still uniting most of the factions under his command. Instead, Naga Sadow kept Gav Daragon as an apprentice, a decision that makes no sense, but I will talk more about Gav later. I think that Naga Sadow tries to set the precedent of the scheming Sith that is able to succeed both within the inner struggles of his empire and to plan a coordinated attack on the Republic 5,000 years before Palpatine. Yeah, I mean, obviously Sadow is nowhere near the Emperor, but at least he tried. A fair comparison is made between the Sith and the Roman Empire. Both based their economies on slavery and landlordship. Thus, both of them needed to be in constant expansion in order to avoid collapse. Maybe Naga Sadow's intention to conquer the galaxy were selfish and typical for any Dark Lord, but there was an actual need of conquest in order for the Empire to not just sustain itself, but to also have some sort of progress. And now let's talk about Gav Daragon, because I cannot quite figure out why Naga Sadow kept him alive. Because besides Gav's unexploited potential with the Force, he wasn't relevant in any way for the Republic. He was just a failed nobody. Even if Sadow really wanted an apprentice, I bet there were much better candidates within the Sith Empire already. Gav was not particularly strong with the Force either. He was doubting and criticizing the Sith ways at every moment. Why did Sadow keep him alive? Moreover, why give him the command of the main fleet? Gav's knowledge of the Republic is not really that important, considering that he mostly knew the well-defended Koro system in his homeworld. But in any case, this was a huge and foolish mistake from Sadow. It's not a surprise that Gav betrayed Sadow, breaking his battle meditation and causing the failure of the Sith invasion. But at last, Sadow pulled one last big brain plan. He tricked Gav to meet him for a duel in his meditation chambers, which were on a ship near a star. Then, he summoned a solar flare that vaporized Gav. He should have killed him way sooner. Back at the Sith Empire, Ludocresh launched a surprise attack on the retreating Sadow. Sadow managed to kill him for real this time, but the Empress Tetaf also followed him with a counterattack. Then Sadow is forced to sacrifice most of his forces and flee into exile. And finally, Sadow arrived at Yavin 4, where he built the temple complex that Exar Kun will get to know very well. I really like Naga Sadow because he was one of the first Dark Lords of the Sith. But again, I think that his story is badly written. Most of his decisions don't make any sense for me at all. And I don't want to be rude to the writer, but there are a lot of inconsistencies and plot holes, not only here but in his comics overall. And I'm sort of glad that this is no longer canon, but only because I have hopes that this story will be remade in the future. If not, I think I'll make my own fanfiction. I really hope that you liked the video. I tried to make it a little short. Please comment below, tell me what I can improve, or if you just want to talk about failed Sith Lords, let's start a conversation. In any case, until next time.